At that time, I wasn't thinking about how race played a part in any of this. I genuinely didn't think about it.
As far as a lot of the family were concerned, everything that she was being put through, they had been put through as well. And some of the members of the family was like, why should she be protected? And I said, the difference here is the race element.
There's no version of me joining this family and trying to not do everything I could to fit in. People in my life who love me and care about me are like, is he worth this? No matter how hard I tried, no matter how good I was, they were still gonna find a way to...
I can't believe it, guys. I am sitting in shock here. Harry and Meghan are returning back to UK. Let's take a moment to pause, because I don't think I've been in such shock in recent time. I mean, we are so used to listening to these two going on and on about their race, and she was miserable and she was not happy and he was making her unhappy, and we were hearing these 100 stories, let's face it, and we were getting to a point where we were fed up to listen to these stories ourselves. And at that point I thought, at least the good thing is that the royals don't have to deal with these two. Like, that's the first thing I thought when they left. Like, of course they trashed them for the last 6 years, we've been seeing it. And I was wondering, how does anybody buy their bogus story when the fact is that Harry even took back the racism claims and blamed it on the media? And in spite of all that talk back, these two Dundies thought that they would go to Montecito, life is going to be rosy, everybody's going to adore them, and they thought that they're going to have the red carpet treatment in Hollywood. This is what they thought, because they saw what the royal family gets and they thought that's what they are. They don't understand that their brand was good only when they were with the royals. It's like I don't know, I'm sitting in complete dazed. I'm sitting in daze also for the fact that they are that ridiculous to think that whatever brand they had has all failed. Their association with Netflix, Spotify, crashed. The fact that Cookie Queen crashed. Anything that they have touched has failed. And you do not, and I've said this a lot of times, you cannot make a brand based on trashing your own family, trashing your father. She ignored her father. Father's there in the US. Try to make amends with your father. You are making amends with the family you claim you faced racism with, and you are ignoring the father. The one that was always there for you for paparazzi shots, because he had some paparazzi shots, which you guys love to take yourselves. You guys are known for paparazzi shots, calling them, in my opinion, we've seen multiple proof of this. You guys love attention. You are always in the media. You are smiling and posing all the time, especially Meghan. And father goes to leg amputation. He doesn't get the grace because he doesn't have the money. If he had the money, the grace would automatically come. Take it from me. Because the father doesn't have money, these two don't have the grace to even respect him. And they just ignore their own father. That's why it's superficial. And they know that the reason that they're going back to the royal family is the money has dried up. They're heading for bankruptcy. Nothing is working. Everything has failed. This is a known fact. All of us know about this. And it was just a matter of time. But moving back to UK, now there are 3 possibilities or 3 motives that I am concluding with, in my opinion. This is all in my opinion, of course. The first motive obviously is bankruptcy. Okay. Nothing has worked. Everything has failed. They have this $14 million mansion which they need to pay for and upkeep and security. The money is not coming in as it used to. Okay. They thought that the deals would keep coming in repeatedly. No. She thought her jams are going to make her $1 billion business. I have a question for the squadies. I have just one question for the squadies. Do you believe that if Meghan's brand had become, let's say hypothetical, $1 billion business or a multi-million-dollar business like 40 million or so, or more than that, to do really well, okay, do you think she would have gone back to UK? Think about it. Think about it. And the answer is simple. No way. Because that would have been validation that, oh, I have made it on my own. I don't need them. This is the reason that they've gone back. That has failed as well. We have seen the bankruptcy claims. We've seen that the jams were not selling. They ran back. Motive number 1 is bankruptcy for sure. Motive number 2, in my opinion, is that they have got news that King Charles, because we know he has cancer, either it is getting into later stages, okay, which means that they are getting information that he might be in terminal or might be getting into a serious situation and he might not live long, okay. This is the info they might have got, and again this is just speculation from my side, and they got that information and hence they went into panic mode because this is done so silently. The kids are already enrolled in the schools as of September. So this is a huge motive, okay. If they have a situation where they are basically scared that William is going to take away all the, privileges, titles, that is something that can eventually happen, true. However, if William, they know that with Charles it's not going to happen. With William it's going to happen immediately. So that communication might not be possible. If William becomes king, then that communication is off the table. There's no way that this entire arrangement of coming back would be possible without King Charles' support. So there's a report saying King Charles was blindsided. This is a report. King Charles was blindsided by this. He had no idea. He came to know a few days back. Really, King Charles? You're going to make us believe that you had no clue that this was happening? Yeah, they rolled. So you're telling me the King of Britain had his son and his grandkids enrolled in school for September of this year, and King Charles has no idea. Oh, please. Okay, the king is briefed on everything. This is nonsense. None of us are buying this. The public, I don't think anybody in the public is buying that story. So Charles, yeah, you can try hard, but I know why that story is out there, because William was kept in the blind. So Charles has to make himself look innocent and be like, no, I had no idea. He has to act innocent because William obviously didn't have a clue. They kept William out of it because they know that William is not going to approve it. This is the reality. William would have been like, no way. No way I'm going to approve this. Okay. So William is very clear. William is like, I'm not going to sit and put up with this. I'm not going to allow this to happen. He would not support it. So that's the reason why Charles had to keep this in the dark. And he's playing the innocent card. No one's falling for Charles. You have proved that you are a weak king. You are extremely weak, and it's time to maybe hand the baton. You can just literally abdicate the throne and give it to William. So this is one of the aspects. This is the second thing I'm thinking that is a possibility, is that they are panicking that William might come and then their complete control will be gone. They will have no power once William is there. They know this, okay? Now the third motive, okay, and this is the hypothetical one, but this is the third motive I'm guessing, is that the fact that everything crashed, okay, they have to come back. They don't have the money, which we already know, but there's a lot of speculation going on that it could be that Harry put the pressure on Meghan to move back. This could be a big reason, right? The financial part of it, where he's like, listen, I can't get you security. We've failed security. We're not going to get it anymore. And the bills are piling up. The legal bill has come, 30 million. I don't think Elton John is jumping with joy to help him with that. So there's so many bills piling up. And if I make it up with Daddy, Daddy will take care of it. Papa will take care of all the bills. Okay. This could be a huge motive. Meghan, we have known, is not excited to come to UK. We know this now. Okay, she's not interested to come back. I don't think so, in my opinion. So the third motive could be that they are heading, she is going to separate from him or divorce from him, not move to the UK, and she's going to just kind of leave the picture. And she's going to make this a huge motive and make herself the victim again and say, Harry is the reason. Harry abandoned me, left me for his family and all that nonsense. This could be the third angle, okay? Now, in the few weeks, if we see Meghan in UK, the third motive is obviously completely gone. The first two will still remain. But a lot of people are leaning on the third motive right now, that, oh, maybe it's a divorce. I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. They were spotted at the David Foster Gala. Meghan is very calculative, okay? She did not come and support Harry when he released Spare. And she made sure that some source of hers said that, oh, I don't really support him, but he's sharing this or whatever crap, okay? She will run, and even the court cases, she was never there. She never came to UK. She does not want to be there in the tough times. So there's something negative coming out, okay, about their relation. She would not go to David Foster's gala with him and be smiling and posing on the red carpet if there was trouble, because she has. I really feel for William and Catherine, really. They have nothing but been loyal to the crown. They have been amazing. Their popularity is at peak. They are the future. That gives us a lot of hope. The royal family for me is William and Catherine and their kids. For me, that's, I mean, of course, there are so many members. I'm not disrespecting others. I'm just saying that they are the foundation, I would say, of the royal family. And this, I think, might be the bitterness that King Charles is facing, because William is quite strong, like his mother. William is very similar to Diana in that regard. He's very strong-minded, and I think he's very ethical as well. So Charles, I think, is getting a bit bitter of the fact that William is trying to most probably put his weight around and trying to tell Charles what to do, which Charles doesn't appreciate, and that could be that bitterness there. So he's like, no, I'm going to show you, you've got to listen to what I do. I make the decisions, you've got to listen to me. This could be that type of that ego battle. But somebody actually commented on one of my videos, which I agree, which is a great point, is that when King Edward, he abdicated the throne, they were banished. The Queen banished them, and they were not allowed back. And that's the way it should be. When you are saying you're going to leave the royal family, you cannot be brought back in. You should not be allowed. And there should be a rule on this, because what the hell? You can't just 6 years sit and trash, say whatever nonsense, and then come back. There has to be some rules and protocols in place. There has to be some boundaries. You just can't say, hey, okay, yeah, let them say what they want. We are fine. And now you can come back. That is where I think a lot of the anger, people's genuine anger and frustration is coming in, which I support and agree with. And I think this is a really bad idea. But I think in the days to come, we will probably get more information. This, as of now, all that race nonsense, the Sussex squadies have been going mad. So if you see some of their comments, which I have been seeing and just laughing my heart out, and shout out to the Sidley twins, and been putting a lot of them out there, because I have no patience to go to their profiles. I couldn't really care. But I've seen so many of their comments, and it's hilarious. They're having a breakdown. Some are trying to justify it. Some are like, no, poor King Charles. He cares about his father. The ones who are trying to cover up with those Zandy, and all these people are trying to cover up with random excuses and stories. But then the other breakdown is, oh my God, I'm done. This is unacceptable. How can they go back to the racist royals? Blah, blah, blah. The race card was a fraud. You fools. You guys were fooled beautifully. You all fell for it. You all dragged people, royal fans like us. You dragged all of us. You went after people just because you thought you were right. Just because you believe these two liars. It was never about race. How are they coming back so conveniently? It was never about it, that's why. Okay? It's about the money. It was about running away, not following protocol. She doesn't want to walk behind Catherine. She doesn't want to do any of that. That was the truth which we kept saying, and we are right. And you guys are wrong. And the breakdown you can see is just hilarious. The comments are hilarious. And they're all like, I need to take a break. I cannot believe this. What's happening? There is meltdown. A complete meltdown is happening. And the squadies are just going mad. And this is called karma. The way they treated their own family, their father, their relatives. You think they care about you? You really think, guys, you squadies, that they cared about your feelings? They don't even care about their own family. Wasn't that a red flag for you? They were trashing their own families, both sides, not just one side, okay? Wasn't that a sign? You guys were justifying even that. The trashing also was being justified. And that was when I was thinking, how do you not have empathy? How do you not have a bit of empathy for the father, especially Thomas Markle? And then you have King Charles with cancer, Catherine cancer. They didn't care. They trashed and trashed. Now guess what? You've been betrayed. You've been hurt by the Sussex leaders. Good. You guys deserve it. It's called karma. Enjoy that. Enjoy it. You deserve that.
Have you read Hayden's book? So what did you think?
Hayden's book's incredible. I think it's great. I think everyone should read it. I mean, the domestic violence stuff that I think is like 272, page 272, my chapter. Everybody should read it. Yeah.
How was it for you reading that?
But yeah, I mean, it was, who wants to read something about themselves like that, right? But, you got to be vulnerable.
What did you not want her to talk about in the book?
So there's a story where I was drunk, right? Hayden was standing across the room, and I had a phone in my hand, and I said, Hayden, I said, and I'll give you 10 seconds to run as fast as you can before I throw it at you.
So we have quite a few updates on Hayden's passing. She was only 36 years old, guys. It's really sad. She's one of those Hollywood stars. She was a child star and was working from a very young age. I started learning more about her. I followed her on a couple of shows. But the thing about her tragic death, which is the strangest part for me, is that ex-boyfriend of hers, Brian Hickerson. The fact that dude was with her when she passed away is a really bad sign. The fact that he had a restraining order and then she had put a DV case on him and still managed to get this girl to travel from LA to South Carolina to an Airbnb, which is his hometown, is very odd. And around this time, suddenly when he's around, how is it not getting into a criminal case? How this guy is not suspicious and he's actually walking around? TMZ reported that he was walking around. Can you imagine this? This dude has been spotted walking around. How is he walking free? Isn't he the prime suspect in custody? It just cannot be a written off case of substance abuse, because they did the same thing with Matthew Perry. It's the same thing with MJ. We are seeing a pattern where the moment you see any star speaking out, because she had come out with this book, This Is Me Reckoning, and in that book she had detailed a lot of her experiences in Hollywood, and she was exposing Hollywood a lot. And even in the Jay Shetty, she was talking. And the moment you see any stars talking, then mysteriously something happens to them. And same thing happened with Virginia, with her. The same thing happened with many star kids. Aaron Carter started speaking up a lot, if you remember. He started speaking up a lot. And then this mysteriously happened to him. I think Britney was the thing that we thought, more than Hayden or anybody, all of us thought Britney would be the next, the way she was behaving and spiraling. But I think Britney, in spite of all that, the amount of control, medication, all that they did on her, is mentally very strong, because she actually came out of that and she's still there. I mean, I understand that she's not there. She still acts erratic. But I think the reason that nothing has happened or they've not done anything to Britney per se is because they think that people just look at her and think, oh, something's wrong with her anyway. Like, I've categorized her, something is wrong with her. So no one's going to take her seriously, and that's probably the only reason. But the other star kids who start speaking up too much, and that's the thing about Hollywood. What we need to start realizing, guys, is we have to stop idolizing Hollywood. I'm telling you. There's a price for this fame that these kids go through. Child stars, they're not really protected. They are being used by their parents, in my opinion. You know that quote by Hayden's mom, that stupid release statement she released, is the most formal nonsense, where it sounds like she's just talking about some co-worker. And just go and read Hayden's actual on-screen parents in Heroes, the mom and dad, what they wrote on their Instagrams and on their Instagram handles. Look at their quotes and how sweetly they've paid tributes to Hayden. I mean, they were more like her parents. I think if they were her parents, she would have been better off, maybe, because the mother was just disgusting. They're predators. These parents, in my opinion, are called predators. They don't really care. They're not there for the well-being of their children. They're only looking at their own well-being. They want to see what money you're going to make for me, and that's all that you matter. You are just a money-making cow. That's it. It's just a transaction. They have no emotion. They don't care about their children. These poor children are so traumatized because all they want to do is please their parents. They'll do anything the parents say. So where is the character then? You are letting her get into the industry at such a young age. At the age of 8 months, she started working.
Mother has chosen to take the 8-month-old baby to the audition rooms, into those audition rooms, and it went from there and progressed into 50 commercials by the time I was 5. It never stopped, and it was every moment on set. I didn't care about anybody else's opinion but my mom's.
Said in one of her interviews, she had done 50 commercials by the age of 5. Can you imagine? You think children at that age don't get exploited in the industry? You guys are naive. So why did she get into? People are like writing it off. Oh, it's substance abuse. That's it. Yeah, we know. Why is it substance abuse is a question. Why? How did she get into it? it's the industry. It's because of the industry as well. And the fact that this ex-boyfriend is really creepy to me. That interview clip, if you guys saw, he's smiling. When he's talking about DV, he's smiling. Something's seriously wrong. This guy's retarded. Not is he dumb, he's extremely dangerous, I think. And I don't know why I feel bad, but I think the other truth that came out about the guy is that he was sending her threatening text messages a few years back, saying that I'm going to expose you. And I think that exposing the threat messages obviously is around the substance abuse and the fact that he was going to expose that. And probably the other very disturbing angle that's coming out is, if you notice, that Hayden in that Jay Shetty podcast said that her relation, she had a very good friend, she was in a yacht, she was forced into bed by an undressed man, and that story comes out, and then Diana Jenkins denies it's her and all that. But there's a direct link done to her, because there was a yacht trip where Diana Jenkins was good friends with Hayden. This is the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, okay, chick. She posts on her Instagram a book by James Blunt, which says a made-up story. And in that, there's a story about her that says Diana's boat, where they're talking about the boat. Okay. Now I'm going to put the screenshot here, but I'm just going to read just the paragraph that really is very, very sus for me, very suspicious. When she still had money, okay. So basically, the first paragraph, he talks about how she is so well off. Diana had all these, big parties on big yachts and all these big names, okay. Now, this is the part that's really interesting. Guests would fight to get on the boat with us. Bono would make an appearance and sing Miss Sarajevo to Diana. The designers ended up being hosed down unconscious in jet skis, having been sick on someone's bed. If we visited a nightclub, Diana would kidnap all the professional dancers in the club and bring them back to the boat. And the boat was a place of fantastic excess. One night I was given an Adderall, which is a medical, and later and so on, goes on and on. So he is openly saying that this woman, Diana, has had wild parties. So everybody is now connecting the dots. The other strange thing that this dude does, James Blunt, that no, we don't go quiet. That neither is he denying it, no, he goes quiet. Guess what he does? He releases a music video called Tastes Like Summer, the day that Hayden passes away. Okay? And the song is about him kidnapping somebody from the road, a hitchhiker, and forcing this hitchhiker to dance with him, forcing the hitchhiker to go on a boat ride with him. Sound familiar? Boat ride. And then the song proceeds to see him dancing, they're sitting and they're doing all these activities together, and this person is tied up the whole time, okay, with the face covered. And then towards the end of the song, they're going to eat, and the menu is a starter you, main course you. And there's panic on this guy's face, who's basically this cannibalism. It's going to basically, she's talking about having him for dinner. And the next shot, you see some lady's hands at the end of the video. So it's like a complete bangles and stuff. So you know it's a lady. It's not the character. And they're eating. So it's literally shameless, these people are. They're disgusting. They're trying to normalize and desensitize us, guys. Let's start opening our eyes to Hollywood. Let's start rejecting this nonsense. Let's start just never promoting, buying any of these kind of celebrity stuff. The moment we see them throw it in our face, start rejecting it. Start boycotting these people. Stop idolizing these celebrities, for God's sake. It's all rituals and crap that's happening. We have now seen so much of it come thrown in our face. And I'm just shocked at the level of how much it's happening now. It's just obvious. It's getting obvious now. That's the whole difference. They're getting arrogant about it. And when you get too arrogant about it, public retaliation will start eventually, and then they start realizing. But this is a cruel thing to release. It's intentional. And it's part of a bigger thing that you and me can't understand, I'm sure of it. But I have lost respect for this guy. I never even cared about his songs, let's face it. But now, yeah, whatever these celebrities are, we need to start calling this nonsense out and keep rejecting them. They deserve that. Reject them completely. Stop idolizing this nonsense. It's time.